Let me get my little logo back.
All right, we're live again, I hope. Is anybody out there? Can anybody hear it? So it looks like we just got nuked because, yeah, no boob. No boob physics. No unusual boob physics.
Did they...
I just got no message. I probably should check my Gmail, actually. There we go. That's what I'm going to do. 1 sec. Won't take very long. Oh, Poland's here. Here we go. Poland. We just got nuked.
Hi, Poland.
I played a little video, a cheeky little video. Maybe I shouldn't do that anymore. I don't know. I thought it was fine. It was on Twitter. I thought it'd be fine. It wasn't. It was just a little, I don't know, half a minute anime clip of some interesting boob physics.
Those weren't little.
They weren't. Well, they moved in mysterious ways. I thought the people needed to see them. Yeah, I got a community guideline restriction thing, so they took the video down. So
oh wow!
Fine.
Is that
well? Right now, Ethan and War Campaign are both streaming, so.
Yeah. I thought do I cancel because those guys are on? But I thought, hey, it's the only time I get to do it, so we're doing it now. Callaway, yeah, I am a rebel, total rebel. Check out my avatar. Bandito's here. How you going, buddy? Hail, well met. Absolutely.
Hello, Bandito.
So we are back, and we were talking. I was in the middle of talking about this wonderful comic here, about how they got their boob physics right, probably, and then all of a sudden the stream was nuked. So
maybe they perhaps Google and YouTube only prefer wrong boob physics, and if the boob physics are right in Battle Maiden, they're not going to allow it.
They probably have a whole team of boob physics watchers.
Yes.
And they get onto us. So I don't know anything about BattleMaidenKnuckleBomb other than I remember it, and it made a lot of money on its first campaign. It seems to be making a lot of money this time too. It's already got 346 backers, and yeah, it just opened up a couple of days ago. He's gone the super simple route here with you get the core set. I guess that's so you get a print and cards and the book. And then what's this? Supplement. Some sort of supplement.
He's calling it a supplement instead of an ash can. So 24 pages total. Manga digest size. I guess that's kind of like they're very small in Japan, but they're a little bit bigger in the States. A manga-sized booklet delving into the beginnings of Murakumo comic, the Murakumo comic universe. Oh, that should never be live. Okay. The book contains supplemental story, character, and setting information. He missed the Oxford comma after the word character.
Needs Grammarly.
He does. Anyway, from BattleMaidenKnuckleBomb, and I have no idea what that thing is, but it's air guides. The book will feature some exclusive artwork as well as the original 12 pages of the canceled 2015 Air Guides webcomic. There we go.
Well, there you go. That's what the supplement is. That's cool. All right, awesome. Yeah,
and
I don't know how long...
by the way, guys, you can still get the first issue of this on Etsy. Kyung has an Etsy store.
There we go. Yep, there's a link there. Cool.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah, so that's Battle Maiden That is hard to say when you try not to think about it. BattleMaidenKnuckleBomb.
I know.
Battle Maiden
the story. Saya Volkova is a ramen shop waitress by day, but a high-kicking karate girl by nature. She finds herself caught in a web of deception with her uncle, Dr. Vogel, is attacked by a group of armed mercenaries led by a hulking wall of muscle called Brecha. All right. So, yeah, like I said, I was saying earlier, now you're not going to know that I said earlier. I think this is the first manga that CG ever put out. And since then, we've had Blade Devil? What's it called? Sorry, Raging Golden Eagles book.
Yeah, I think it's
Blade Devil.
Blade Devil. Yeah.
Yeah, and Xenotype, obviously. So there you go. Hey, Jason's here. Jason's onto it. He's got links.
If we're going to pretend to be Rob and was it Clayton, then we would say, well, this little description of in the last issue of BattleMaidenKnuckleBomb belongs up higher, but we're gonna need to pick too much on him. He's got this.
Yeah, I don't really get into the critiquing side of things. He seems to be doing better than me, so I'm not going to be pointing any fingers.
We should talk to Rob about that.
Have you guys seen this one, MortalWorlds?
Yes.
Yeah, it just went live. So I did a little thing on it. They were getting the pre-launch page. They were getting sign-ups, but it's gone live, and I've actually heard these. It's a couple. It's a married couple. I think married anyway. A couple. They're doing the book together, and they're from the UK. They're part of CG UK. I've seen them on some CG UK stuff, like hanging around in those circles. A super soldier discovers that a man's first ancestor is our final descendant and a being of ultimate evil. There's numbers at the end. That's my personal number that I add for my list of referrals. Oh, yeah, that's cool. It's cool. You can go into the back end and see what you've, who you've, how many referrals you've given out for other people.
Yep, that's how the links work. It's after TWTR/X/ and then who you are on Indiegogo.
I wondered how it worked. I wonder what all that stuff was. I usually take that stuff out because it just annoys me. It looks bad, but I'll keep them in from now on.
My thing is I logged out of Indiegogo just in case I share my screen, so I'll log back in so I can get those referral credits.
Did you guys, you guys know about the... Sorry, go ahead, Michael.
I was just going to say it'll be a competition now. Which one of the other wrenches gets the most referrals?
Yeah.
Not me.
That won't be me tonight. I'm doing a little bit of multitasking, but
all good.
I'll be on top of it. I was going to say, did you hear about a little bit of controversy?
Oh, yeah? What's that?
Caesar told War Campaign he was going to stream with him tonight, and then invited basically the Jack Show on to stream.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been watching his stream, so yeah, he just has been kind of doing a whatever stream, just no real topic, just kind of whatever pops up into his head,
and
which he can pull off.
And to kind of jab back at him on the D Live stream, they played a video that Ethan put on YouTube at one point of him, they suspect is nude, sitting by his pool talking. It's really funny to watch, actually. He's just musing by the pool about Comicsgate. Waxing poetic.
Right, okay.
I'm glad you had the word poetic on there.
Everyone, make sure after the stream is finished, go check that out.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. They're on D Live right now. And I don't know if you guys know this, but they're talking about Vestige 2 being out by the end of the summer.
Oh.
What month is that? Let me wrap my head around the US summer. When's that?
August.
July.
Is the end.
July or August.
Oh, being as in the campaign's up.
I think they're talking about it being ready to go.
Oh, damn! Is Donald on that as well? Is it like a new artist?
They have an artist, Doodlebags. He's one of the guys.
I love Doodlebags.
Yeah, he frequently participates in their drawn and backhold streams. I'm a big fan. So.
Yeah, no, I love Doodlebags, and he has a great colorist working with him on his book. I can't remember the name of her, but she's really good, and everything that he posts looks amazing. So yeah, that's going to be awesome. I'm definitely I've decided Vestige is the next one that I'm going to get.
Yeah, I read it last night. Definitely worth a buy.
Yeah, that's what I'm just hearing. I mean, you guys have convinced me, so it was kind of a bit further down my list. But it's jumped up to number 1. So Jason's made 57 Australian with his referrals. So there you go. He's on the scoreboard.
There you go, Jason. Get her done.
Is that 57 in other people's backings, or like credit to you, or how does that work?
No, it's just a number. That just tells you how much you've made for other people.
Yeah.
Oh,
so for instance, I've made myself like 4K or something.
Oh, wow.
And then I can see other people who've made me a lot of money. Just people who, I guess, tweet a lot about other people's projects. Yeah, I was actually pretty high on Ethan's referral list. He read it off at one point, and I was actually up there. So that was pretty cool.
Oh, you were.
I have
I think
5
you were top
referrals.
20
They're
at
all
least. Or
different.
maybe it was even higher than that.
Oh, Jason, he's working hard for the money. Thank you, brother. That's awesome. I wonder who bought it. So Jason is a trustworthy fella in Comicsgate. So if he says back the Lucent, you get out there and you back it.
Jason's rock solid. Always good to see him.
Okay, so what is Mortal Worlds then?
Mortal Worlds. Let's get back on track. Poland, you distracted us with this cool gossip that everyone's interested in.
Oh, it's all in good fun.
Mortal Worlds is a science fantasy. You kind of want to say science fiction, and then he what's that? He breaks your expectations. What's that saying? Subverts your expectations.
Yeah.
He pulls a Ryan Johnson on you.
He does. That's right. Science fantasy graphic novel in which a super soldier discovers that man's first ancestor is our final descendant, a being of ultimate evil. It's a 48-page one-shot in US standard format with a cardstock cover. Yeah, what drew me to this book was these crazy colors, this sort of psychedelic style. And he's got a lot of panels on the page. There's a lot going on. And yeah, I was kind of drawn to the art straight away, but I had no idea what this was about other than it obviously looks like a sci-fi.
Yeah. So this is Michael and Caroline Anden. Is this Charlie's London?
No.
Okay.
No. But they're from the UK. They run around with that group.
Okay.
So all the CG UK guys. I've been hearing this book from hearing about this book from them, and I saw he was on a stream. I can't remember what stream it was. The two of them were on a stream the other day. Selling it. So yeah. Mysterious unearthed power impels. So here's some of the art. As you can see, it's super cool. It's definitely got his own flavor to it. That's his imprint there, Double Vision Comics. That's who, like, if you go onto Twitter, that's where you'll find it, Double Vision Comics.
Okay.
The Art of Mortal Worlds. Supplemental magazine available separately as a bundle or with the comic. Featuring a plethora of concept art. 32-page book in US standard. Yeah, cool. So there you go. And there's that team. So if you like Buck Rogers, Flash Gordon, The Shadow, Silver Age Lee, Kirby and Ditko, Star Wars, Lovecraft, Conan, this is a book for you.
That's interesting.
Check it out.
That catchphrase caught my attention. I guess that's what it's supposed to do. Man's super soldier discovers that man's first ancestor is our final descendant, a being of ultimate evil. That almost reminds me of like something from the Book of Revelation. If you know what I mean.
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Where the beast is supposed to be born a man or something weird like that. I don't know. It's a weird book.
David reckons Mortal Worlds is like the original Doom made into a comic. It does kind of have that feel to it, doesn't it? These oversaturated colors and just so much detail, and it's kind of hard to gauge exactly what's going on all the time. I dig it. I love different styles. I love, different styles for different stories. Have they fulfilled a campaign? I don't know, Bandito. I don't ask these questions on this show. I'm not about that. I'm just talking about campaigns. If you guys want to grab them, that's up to you. I am merely the messenger.
One thing I like about this campaign, with the pages he's showing, is it's a full color palette. There's nothing missing. I mean, there's a lot of green, but there's different greens. There's yellows. This isn't your teal and green, or teal and orange theory stuff.
No, it's not. It's not cinematic, is it? It's its own thing. It's comic. It's Double Vision comic-esque. There's nothing else quite like it. That's for sure.
Guys, does my mic sound okay?
Yeah, it sounds good.
Okay, it's not the camera mic again?
No.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I knew Bandito. I'm getting in on the banter as well. We've all seen this, I'm sure. Another case of TheLittlestUmbrella. Did you guys back the first one at all?
I did, and I'm on the wrong page for it. I need to go get that one up so I can see what you're talking about.
So we're talking about another case for TheLittlestUmbrella, which is the I guess it's a sequel or just another adventure.
Oh, I see. You've got the sign-up page, right?
I've got the sign up page. Yeah, it's not a live page yet. Is it? It hasn't gone live, has it?
No.
It's still
No.
no. Whew. That would have been a screw up on my end. Yeah, Callaway, there are this. It's crazy. You've got to be very discerning. But I like the look of this art on this one. I remember I wasn't too down with the art on the last one, but I didn't look at it too closely. It was just kind of sold as a kid's story, and there was just so much other cool stuff going on at the time that I didn't back it.
Yeah,
but
you have to pick and choose.
You do. Although I do love Tug. I wanted to read this in Tug's voice because he's got a little thing there. Okay, ready? Hey there. We're proud to present our newest graphic novel adventure, Another Case of the Littlest Umbrella, featuring the 40 color pages. This all-ages tale with a Lovecraftian spin is sure to thrill. So stay tuned for tears and stretch goals. I don't know how good that was, but give it a go. I can do that.
Excellent.
Hey there.
Hey there. I think
So,
he
yeah.
draws a little longer. Okay.
Tug obviously has fulfilled. He's a huge name in Comicsgate. He doesn't need me promoting him, but this is a pretty big thing that's just sort of happened. He's starting to get on the campaign trail now. He's promoting other people. He's he kind of goes away and does his own thing for a while on his YouTube. He talks about the Weeble stuff and everything, but I'm seeing him around a lot more, and he's going to bat for Peter Samedi at the moment. Controversially a little bit, I think, because he's going after guys like what's his name, Sean Gordon Murphy, because he didn't stand up. Sean Gordon Murphy just sort of stayed out of trouble when his peers were being attacked.
What's that, Poland?
Was that Poland?
Oh, forgot to mute that time.
Oh, you weren't talking to us.
Hey, this is what happens when Poland multitasks.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's funny.
It's all right. No one heard what you said anyway, so it's all
I don't think they did. Nope, no one heard it.
Poland's like, take it off, baby, in the background.
That's what you want. Options. You don't want to be held to only what's available.
Yeah. For some reason, my Twitter usually gives me a notification, and I didn't do it this time, so I still wanted to hop on, but I was already in the middle of something else, so I'm going in between right now.
Hey, that would hurt my brain trying to do that.
Well, before we move on, thank you for posting the Lucent link, Mr. 235-40884. We appreciate your help.
Promoter number 235408884. Thank you. Yeah, so obviously there's not much to talk about on these pre-launch pages, but yeah. So what I always say, it's always free to sign up. It doesn't cost you anything. Get that trading card if you do go on to back it.
They just want your info. What they want.
What's that?
They just want your email. That's all.
Yeah, they want. Yeah. I mean, you're another number. They
That's
want
right.
they want your deets. Yeah, I'm thinking of making up a. It's pretty easy. You can do it with MailChimp. You just make up an email sign up page to have up all the time. So you're collecting emails all the time. It's something you can just kind of add, to the end of whatever you're promoting with. Sign up. Just go to this thing, put it in your email, and then you'll be notified of any future things. You don't have to do it just through Indiegogo. So, because obviously the bigger that email list, the better. Especially that first day is going to go.
And that signing up isn't a promise to back. It's just interest, and so you can see more about the book later.
Jason's got a question for after the Comicsgate Corner portion of the show. So yeah, we are going through these pretty quick because they're kind of short campaigns, but we will chat about that in a second. I just wanted to point out that HailSalad has comic issue number 1. I'm not exactly sure what this is. I haven't watched the video, and I don't want to because I'm going to be chatting to him on Friday about this, and I want to kind of get it straight from the horse's mouth. But the art he's got here is pretty cool. And I don't know, do I dox his cover here? Because I know how to get into it, if you guys want to see it.
Sure.
Let's do it. So you got to inspect element. Where is it? Oh, now I can't do it off. Oh, here we go. Inspect. Gotta click on this thing. Does that work? There we go. I'll get off Jason. So there's the cover. That's some pretty dope art. I can't see who it is. Willie Vull. But yeah, that's cool as. So he's got Zach, he's got this foot, Doug, and Ethan's fighting him here. Is this Anna? What's this? I don't know what that is.
Oh, well, the hair made. I didn't see the hair was long. I just saw the forehead.
It must be Anna because
horrifying.
it's her haircut, but it's
Okay.
silver. I don't know. Maybe it isn't. I'm just totally wrong.
I thought it was. Edward.
That's the stuff of nightmares right there. Nightmare
Cecil's
fuel.
down here.
You know, it's
I didn't
funny.
see that. This is look. He's like a. He's a kind of what is Cecil here?
A mantis.
Yeah,
Be a roach.
something. Check out Ethan's boots. What are these things?
Glass platform boots.
He's all about the old school stuff, you know.
Yeah, so I'm going to be chatting with Camel Moon. I'm going to ask him all these hard-hitting questions about what the hell is going on here. And we're going to chat animation. And we're going to talk about this and whatever else comes to our mind. So make sure you check that out on Friday. We'll be doing that. Ooh.
What Aussie time? What time is that Friday?
I think I'm just going to do it at the same time. I think I haven't nailed that down, but yeah, you know, I think trying to keep things regular. I don't know if Ethan decides to stream at the same time again, then maybe not. It's
I think Ethan likes to flex his muscle, you know. He's like, when's everyone else streaming? I'm gonna stream.
he likes to say who's boss. Yeah, we got really good numbers yesterday, and word got to him, so now he's like, fuck these guys.
He has to humble. He has to humble us in War Campaign.
He's just trying to make us work harder.
The other thing is he started 3.5 hours ago, so it's like when is it
I
gonna
think they're in
stop?
competition of who can go longer. Because War Campaign's like we're gonna go 3 hours, and Ethan's going 3 hours. So
What are War Campaign talking about today?
I'll have to open that tab back up after I mute it. But they were talking about Doom Fate last time I was on there. It's a book they've been promoting.
Yeah.
Definitely needs some more love. It's
So,
yeah. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
no,
Mike.
you go on. Go on.
I was just saying it's a story that's essentially very Conan-esque. The main character, his name is Valkyrin, and she defies the fates, which is a big part of that culture, and apparently it throws everything sideways. So that's what the book's about.
Cool. I'll have to check it out. Yeah, I mean, I know the name, but I haven't really looked too closely at it.
From what I've heard him say, that in that culture, your fate is entirely determined even just before you're born. So as soon as they know you're pregnant, your place in society is determined and whatnot. And she's
Right.
suddenly, and this one woman just looks at that and says, "Wait a minute, why?" And just blows everything up.
Yeah.
It's Smiling Bandito has a comment here. He's so happy that he kept going after the Space Ghost didn't work out. Yeah, so am I. It was kind of always destined to happen, though. I think when you dance on the border, as we're all kind of finding out with all these copyright strikes and shutdowns and everything, it's like I'm starting to get worried now over there about Ethan's what's it called, the what's his guy, the Brute guy, Rainbow Brute.
Yeah.
It's even though it is parody, like I don't know, people are just really, I don't know, they're taking all this stuff way too seriously.
Oh yeah.
It seems to be getting worse and worse, I feel.
That's definitely the case, I think. I mean, you look all this Naughty Dog stuff about people's channels getting struck for just even mentioning leaks. It's pretty absurd.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just, you're right. People just talking about stuff. Everyone's scared to say coronavirus because they're worried that their channel's going to get taken down. It's just like you can't even say words now.
It's the same reason we say Yahtzee.
What do we say Yahtzee for?
Yeah.
For the thing that rhymes with Yahtzee.
Oh, right. I
Oh.
see. Yeah, because otherwise you get a flag if you're kind of, you're either talking about something you shouldn't talk about, or you are something you shouldn't be.
Oh,
So,
the other day, the other day in the chat, the word die, D-I-E, came up, and I tried it, and it wouldn't. Let's see, I tried something that basically meant dice, but I just said die, and it came through fine. So there's context to it, and I tried something else, and but I just put in the word D-I-E, and it changed it to D-I-E-S. Very strange.
I tried to make a comment in my own chat the other day, and it wouldn't let me. And it said this comment has been blocked because we've detected it might be abusive, and maybe you might want to reword it in my own chat. So going back to Jason's question, what are the CG options for publishing and postage, and why don't CG use them? I didn't as in actual Indiegogo options. I don't know. I'm only aware of what's there and what I've used. I wasn't aware that there are any other options. You just basically for each perk or tier or whatever they are, for each item, basically it just asks you a question: is this item? Does this item need to be shipped? And you hit yes, and then you can just select. You can go country by country or region. So you can select Europe, you can select UK and Ireland, you can select US, you can select Canada, you can select Australia, you can even select rest of the world too. So, and then you just put in the number yourself. As for options for publishing, I don't know. I don't know about that. I mean, it's I didn't see any options in the back there. So, okay, so here we got more. Sean Gordon Murphy mentioned this in another day. Capable of producing the books and doing the shipping. I've not heard anything about that. Yeah, so that's the first I'm hearing about it. I've not. Yeah, I mean, I've been listening to people talk about Indiegogo and comic books going on 3 years now. I've not heard a single person even mention that. So maybe that's something new that he's talking about them with, because of his, I mean, he's a big name, so maybe he's got some kind of background channels open, and he's talking with people behind the scenes.
Yeah, I assume every campaign goes with the cheapest option right now, most affordable.
What is that?
What is CG now? Yeah. There's let's go check that out. They were talking about that early on Ethan's show. It's so funny how they'll just get up in a massive stink about something so easily and quickly, and then they'll cross the line, and then all of a sudden it's fine now.
Another thing that's pretty exciting is that CG Jumpstart, the magazine, launches next week.
Does it?
Yep.
And how is that going to be handled? Like, is that going to be a campaign on Indiegogo? Is that going to be available on a website? What's the deal with that?
They're doing a physical version, but if I understood them correctly when I was listening in, they're doing a platform as well, a digital platform. And it's going to have articles in it by CG creators and some previews and whatnot. Like, for instance, I know Adam Post has an article in this one.
Will the online version be available for free, or is it a paid thing? Do you know?
I haven't heard anything about pay.
Okay.
I mean, everything with War Campaign is trying to promote the movement, so.
Yeah. Well, that sounds cool. That's very exciting. We'll have to check that out when that goes live. Because, we've been waiting a long time for that.
I started on the Indiegogo page earlier today and just flipped through the comics section, and I don't have a little heart on this one. Let's see what it is. And popped it open and saw, was it World War II story featuring Golden Age heroes? Okay, by, Ron, Barry, Michael, and Mark Waid, and I just closed the tab right there.
Yeah, that's probably a common occurrence. The colors look they look kind of overcooked to me. Do you guys get that feeling?
A little bit. I mean, they're sort of traditional comic, and at the same time, I know what you mean.
Maybe they don't look so bad here on the interiors. It's more on that. Maybe it's just this video here. Yeah. Videos can do strange things with colors. So it actually, yeah, it does look better on the cover.
Yeah, the bisexual background there is okay.
But I can just imagine, like, this guy's got the American flag on his thing. They're all white. You know, I can just picture Kickstarter, even though I know that they did hold this. You know, if this was sort of made by someone like Mike Miller, Kickstarter might, you know, knock it back and say we don't promote white supremacy on our or nationalism on our platform. So it's just funny, the hypocrisy going on here. Jason reckons it's impossible to find anything on Indiegogo without being directed to a campaign. You do, yeah, you do have to rely on the algorithm a fair amount. You know, if I'm not streaming every day, the views really do drop, and you know, you notice if you were to kind of disappear for a day or two in the middle of your campaign, yeah, you would just sort of disappear off the face of the earth, pretty much. Unless, of course, you're a massive project. But yeah, it is. I guess it's just the nature of the beast. It's only going to get worse too, because there's just, it seems like every week now there's just something new popping up, and they're pretty big too. The Littlest Umbrella thing, for example, and then last week it was, and even BattleMaidenKnuckleBomb, and then the week before that it was Battle Brick Road, and then the week before that it was The Lucent. Nah. And then the week before that it was Dan Frager. So, and it just seems to just be never ending.
Yeah.
So it is, yeah, it's getting harder and harder.
Okay, there's one that closed today, since we have, what do we have left? 18 minutes before your lunch ends?
Yep.
Okay, would you mind? Here's one that's closing in a couple of hours. I'll pop you the link. There you go.
All right, one sec. Got it. Chateau Obsidian. Yes, this looks familiar.
Yes, and I lost my tab of it. Oh, here it is. If I'm going to go down to where the story is told better, because you know, we're not going to criticize. There we go. So in the far
criticizing, I heard him.
In the far future,
it's what you're not saying.
So passive aggressive.
Where am I looking? Sorry, where am I going?
This is positive feedback.
Oh, you're go where you want. I'll read the description here.
Yep.
In the far future, during the Starship Mayflower's first incarnation as a cruise liner, holiday holographer, that's like photographs but they're holograms, holiday holographer Jack finds himself amongst a deep criminal conspiracy when he unknowingly records evidence of the ship's criminal element in a holographic recording of two tourists. Let's see. What begins as a search for his missing photos leads him and his girlfriend Sarah deep into the Mayflower's underground business. Meanwhile, something weird is growing in the ship's vineyards. The two tourists provide welcome comic relief in their travels, visiting the ship's many wine producers. The Chateau Obsidian name is one of the vineyards. Centuries later, with the ship in pirate hands, Captain Featherstone and his android second-in-command must travel deep within the vast ship to parts not visited for centuries to confront the mythical Green Man who has forced the ship on a collision course with Earth. Back on Earth, Helena, a rebellious young woman, reluctantly accepts her destiny as the only person who can protect Earth from the incoming disaster. There we go. And this is for issue 2, but you can get the PDF of 1 if you want to catch up.
That art's pretty cool here. I like that.
Yeah. I don't know if he's doing it this time, but the first time around, that was an A4 print he sold.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that. I just like the concept as well. It looks like it would be cool anime, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of something I'd seen Astro Boy or something when I was a kid. Looks dope.
So this one closes real soon. It's issue 2. I reviewed issue 1 on my channel, but my video is really bad. It's just too much information. I chopped it down by 3 minutes, and it's I just left it up there because that's where it belongs. But it's
how long was your video?
It was over 11 minutes. Now it's 8.5. So It's just, I don't know. It's not a well done review, but the book's actually interesting and
All of my reviews are not well done reviews. I
Does
wouldn't have it any
Professor
other
Gates
way.
still do reviews? I remember he used to review books. I
Yeah,
haven't seen him in a while.
one. Yeah, I know he's every time I see him, he's just streaming. But maybe that's just because I'm getting notified.
he's changed his format a lot.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I
what
haven't
happens.
seen him in a long time.
Maybe he's working on his book a lot. That's what happens. People they start working on things and then maybe he's writing. I don't know.
Carl disappeared. Yeah.
Yeah, it just happens. And you maybe if you do something every day or like almost every day for a long time, you just kind of get the grind kind of gets you down. You take a little break and then you just don't want to go back to it. Look who's here. CG World Order. Hail, CG. There you go, buddy. We're having a little video today because everyone else is streaming, so we just powered on anyway because we have no other option. Because this is my only lunch
We're
break.
just hiding in between everyone else's wrinkles at the moment.
That's okay. Peasant CG, we may be small in number, but we're a potent bunch. We bring a lot to the table.
We're the lifeblood.
What? I lost the Lucent.
Oh
no! I closed that down. Now I've got to
see.
Plug my own book for a little bit here.
Yep. That Chateau book. This is his third round. The first two rounds he was pitching it as a graphic novel, and then he finally just broke it up into issues. But it's okay. It's not harming the storytelling at all.
Yeah, people have strong opinions on that. Do you have a kind of a standalone story? Do you have cliffhangers? Especially if it wasn't designed in the first place to be broken up, it can be a little jarring. Like that's what happened with Cyberfrog. It wasn't designed to be like that, and people kind of noticed it.
This one, the first issue really is a lot of introductions and world buildings, and then from reading that description, it looks like, and there is some movement. You see the beginning of things start moving, but then that's kind of it. But that's to be expected. It's the first issue out of I think 6. So whereas your book is going to be all in one, or is it the first of 2, or what do we got?
With the Lucent.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's I did craft it so that there are sort of cliffhangery moments at the end of each book. I wouldn't call it, I definitely wouldn't call it what would you call it, like a fully enclosed story. But, there's kind of maybe mini arcs or something like that. But I'm definitely kind of going along more the line of I want you to come back to read more. Mm-hmm. Yes, and I think especially when you've got 56 pages, people who try and wrap up one shots, unless they're really, really amazing writers and know how to craft comics really brilliantly, it can feel a bit rushed. I do like to delve into things a bit the way I tell my story. So yeah, like with mine, each book you get a bit more of the puzzle. So it's definitely a journey, and hopefully with these, what happens at the end of each book, you'll be very interested in coming back for more.
He's gonna bring things into focus slowly, draw you in.
Yeah, bit of a slow burn, and then I just feel like when you do that, those moments when they do come, that impact is ever so greater. But I do understand that people really, they do want a bit of pace and a bit of punch, which is why I really want to get in the 12-page preview for the next book in this package here, and because it'll be a sort of a bit of a action scene, and then I've got other ideas for other Ashcan type things. Damon and Ella, who were the two main characters in the Lucent, have already met by the time this book, Waking Dream, starts. They've known each other for 6 months at the start of this story.
Okay.
So I want to do a little just a little ash can or something like that to show how they first met, because it's interesting. This is sort of where we talk about like backstory stuff that you plan out, but it doesn't fit into your main story. It would be a flashback, and even though I do have lots of stuff that happens in the past in this story, they're not kind of, I don't really view them as flashbacks. So I wanted to do that as a separate thing, and just kind of add a little bit more interest and impact to each campaign, because I know people can get wouldn't say annoyed, but it can be a long time between drinks, and they just I want to give people the most that I possibly can out of each campaign.
If I'm waiting 6 months between books, I want to have that book I just read actually give me something, and I feel a little bit complete, even if I do want more. That's a hard balance.
It is a hard balance. Hopefully I struck that balance. People will let me know if I haven't. But
Michael, you haven't struck that balance.
Oh, damn it. I got to chuck everything out. Should I go and erase all the pages now?
I don't approve of your business model, Michael.
When you created Lucen, did you craft the world around the characters, or did you lay it out beforehand? I love hearing how people tackle their world building. Yeah, look, the idea came first. I had a bunch of characters, but they were really when they were first crafted. Yeah, they don't really bear too much resemblance to what we have now. I was just kind of writing, and whatever was coming out was coming out, and I didn't really know how to write that well. I didn't know how to craft a story, so I kind of had to shelve that, or at least not focus so much on it. And I went off and I kind of learned how to write stories and world build. So that's sort of how I really got into it. I was just sort of writing just for myself. No one will ever see this. It's just a kind of a saga, and it's just me just kind of spewing out whatever's coming into my head about this world. And it's a full history that goes back thousands of years. And it's written sort of like, this happened then, and then this happened then, and this happened then. And that's how I built the world. And from building that world and having fun with all that, sort of like weaving this tapestry of this universe as I saw it, it became clear to me who would be the sort of the main players in this world, and what they'd be interested in, and that's where the characters came out of eventually. So like that, these are the people that are the most interesting storylines in this world. I've picked 3 people, and we're going to follow their timelines. Ella's the main character. She's the one that you're going to see this world through. Okay. She's going to be the one that has questions. So, that's sort of a what would you call it? Like a storytelling device. We're going to be seeing the world through her eyes, in a sense.
She's the protagonist you chose.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. But then, you will also see other people who, even though they exist in the same world, talk about miles apart in terms of their history and what they're all about.
Now, normally when I see something as a flashback, that's sort of with somebody we're dealing with, but earlier, you have 2 different, well, actually, so does Chateau Obsidian, but it has 2 different time frames at the same time. You're doing the same thing, where you're going back like 3,000 years to other characters, correct?
Yeah. So, like, I guess if you picture them a bit like train tracks, the story moves forward throughout the years in those other 2 timelines, and we're going to be watching them throughout history. I'll just leave it at that. Yeah. Okay.
And it is more interesting, instead of giving us the flashback for how they met right away, or even just starting the story there. Things always seem a little more interesting when we don't start with like right how they met, and we're kind of in a little bit.
That's I agree. I want you to care a little bit about these people first. Get to know them a little bit. Even if it's just a little bit. It'd be I wouldn't want to give you, this is the background of how they met, and you're like, who are these people? I don't even care. Like, I don't even know who they are. I like the art, but I don't even know who they are. So why should I care? Mm-hmm. The second book, you get to in the second book, Ella becomes a lot more aware of the situation that she's in. So it means more to be able to go back and look and have this kind of side story of seeing how they met. It'll have much more of an impact, and it'll make more sense.
Okay. Yeah, you know, it's funny. People get sort of wowed by certain stories. Years ago, right after Pulp Fiction came out on videotape, and many people are now going to Wikipedia to find out what videotape is. Anyway, I'm sorry. The guys in the dorm were watching it and said, "Oh, you got to see this. Is a great film." And I kind of looked at it and I just said, "I'm missing a lot out of this because we're given two different points of view on the same events." But the big thing that really grabbed their attention was the fact that the story was told totally out of order. And I thought, if you put this back in order, it might not be as interesting.
I absolutely agree with that. I've actually thought about that too. Yeah, I totally agree that it's because it's told out of order that's so much more
Impactful.
Depth and impact to the events. You know that guy is going to get killed at some point, or you're seeing them in different clothes and you're wondering how they get to that. These are small things, but I completely agree.
So when you built your world, you just who was it? Siege Your World Order, I think was how you tackled your world building. You put the writing aside. If I heard you correctly, did you just kind of put the writing aside and the narrative aside and just focus on the pieces that we might never see?
Yes. Yeah, I put the I stopped trying to worry about writing a plot and having characters and story arcs, and I just wrote a saga. I wrote a history, I should say. It's the history. It's the history of the world that I've created, going back thousands of years, and then going forward into the future. And then once that was sort of, I'm always actually working on it because I'm always adding to it and thinking about it and maybe editing it if need be. Once I could see it from that point of view, sort of like I always say, it's the fates. I'm the fates. I'm like I've determined the destiny of this world and everyone in it. And once I had that all laid out, it was so much clearer to me who I needed to look at and when I needed to look at them. And that's how this whole thing came about.
And one of my writing buddies, I want to write, but I'm really stuck on a lot of middles. I have like a beginning and end, but no middles. And one of my writing buddies, who is actually acquainted now pretty well with Brandon Sanderson, he's wanting to do some sci-fi fantasy stuff, and he was telling me for world building that really there's so much detail you just go through that people aren't going to see, even if you just have to stop your writing events and sit down, and before you want your characters to react as themselves instead of violating their own character. And I'm answering Siege Your World Order right now. One of the things he taught me was that you sit down and you just start writing out everything about a particular character, their fears, their ambitions, all those sorts of things. And then you might even need to go back to, well, why are they that way? And you end up writing like a little biography of how they got that way, or what motivates and inspires them. And so that's one of the way he does world building. And what can come out of the character treatments is then it's, well, the world has to support the whatever got them to who they are and why they are the way they are, that sort of thing. So that's how he does some of his. I think that it'll probably work if I try it.
All that stuff is good. You need to know kind of every character that is integral to the plot inside and out, and they need to be real in that world that you've built. So that's why the world needs to exist, because they're going to have their own idiosyncrasies. How do you say that word?
Idiosyncrasies.
Yeah. It all has to be there. Their personality has to be there. Their motivations have to be there, because otherwise what they're saying won't ring true. And so there's going to be all this stuff that you've written that people are just never going to know about it. But if you craft your characters well, and you have them in the right place at the right time, you're talking about them in the right, where you need to be talking about them in the story, in the grand scheme of things, then it'll all work. And if you don't have that world plan, like, you know, if that world doesn't exist for you, then yeah, you're just kind of pulling stuff out of thin air, and it's going to come off as fake and contrived, and it's going to rip people out of the story. Yes, we are 2 minutes away from closing down here, so I'll just answer Jason's question here. I do my own form of animation I invented. It's called Photoshop animation, where I create something in Photoshop, and I have something on a layer. So in this case, I had this sort of, what is it, high sheen kind of overlay, this translucent overlay, and I had it masked out, and then I literally just screen grab, like a screen share, screen record with a screen recording program. You can do it with QuickTime or there's other programs, and I literally just select that layer and drag it with my mouse over, record that, and then save it as a GIF, and away we go. That's how I've done a lot of my animations back in the day, just screen recording me moving things manually with my mouse. So whatever works, get it done. It's actually a really quick way of animating.
And you can't argue with the result. It looks sharp.
That's right. It does. So yeah.
Looks great.
That was me dragging a thing over. There you go. All right, guys. I know it's been a much different stream than we had yesterday. We had everything stacked against us today, but look, we power through anyway. Thanks so much, everyone who did come by. Hopefully some people will watch it on the replay and see some of these cool books that we talked about and listen to our inane ramblings. But
wow, War Campaign's highlighting me right now on their stream.
Oh yeah, what are they saying?
They're highlighting my tweet.
Oh, are they? Well, go check that out.
Message book.
Go check that out. All right.
I just tapped back over and I saw it. It's funny.
We're going to leave it here. Thanks, Pollen, for coming. I know you've pulled in 2 different places. Always great to have you here, and Samurai as well, of course. It's been really nice to chat. And we'll do this again tomorrow. Hopefully, all of CG won't be streaming at the same time. We'll get some more numbers in here. All right, guys. See ya. Bye.
Take care.